Let me do my mic check. I may turn on my fan so you don't get the background noise that's coming from the other room. Um, these rooms are supposed to be kind of like soundproof. That's why I came in here, but it just seemed to be extra loud on the other side, so I may turn on the fan or I just let the background go. I'm reading from Sirach again. Sirach, and that's Ecclesiasticus, or the wisdom of Jesus, son of Sirach. The last time I was with you on this book of the Bible that's not in the Bible, I left off at chapter 13, and I am starting today on chapter 14. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Copper Christ, greater light to you, greater light. I'm trying to keep my mind balanced, right? Keep everything balanced. I already had the waves and the tides of the storm or the sea that's trying to rile up. That was this morning. And now I'm going to sit here on the boat. I'm going to sit here on the boat, the Sirach boat, the wisdom of Jesus. Ready? Push this up there. Happy are those who do not blunder their lips. Already. Goodness. Wait, let me start over. Let me be quiet while I read. Happy are those who do not blunder with their lips and need not suffer remorse for their sin. Happy are those whose hearts do not condemn them and who have not given up their hope. Oh, let me stop for a second. This book is not in the Bible, not in the King James Version. I'm reading out of the Bible, but this Sirach book, The Wisdom of Jesus, was one of the books that was taken away from the Bible, the King James Version. Okay, it's not it sounds like Proverbs, but this book is not in the King James Version. I'm going to start over about the blunder with lips. Happy are those who do not blunder with their lips and need not suffer remorse for sin. Happy are those whose hearts do not condemn them and who have not given up their hope. Riches are inappropriate for a small-minded person. Ooh. And of what use is wealth to a miser? What he denies himself, he collects from others, and what others will live in luxury on his goods. If one is mean to himself, to whom will he be generous? He will not enjoy his own riches. No one is worse than one who is grudging to himself. This is a punishment for his meanness. If ever he does good, it is by mistake. And the end of it, he reveals his meanness. The miser is an evil person. He turns away and disregards people. The eye of a greedy person is not satisfied with his share. Greedy injustice withers the soul. There's a such thing as greedy injustice? Wait a minute. Let me go back to 7. I'm on chapter 14, verse 7. No, I'm going to go at 5. If one is mean to himself, to whom will he be generous? He will not enjoy his own riches. No one is worse than one who is grudging to himself. This is a punishment for his meanness. If ever he does good, it is by mistake, and in the end he reveals his meanness. The miser is an evil person. He turns away and disregards people. The eye of a greedy person is not satisfied with his share. Greedy injustice withers the soul. A miser begrudges bread, and it is lacking at his table. My child, treat yourself well, according to your means, and present worthy offerings to the Lord. Remember that death does not tarry, and the decree of Hades has not been shown to you. Do good to friends before you die, and reach out and give to them as much as you can. Do not deprive yourself of a day's enjoyment. Do not let your share be desired by good pass by you. Will you not leave the fruit of your labors to another, and what you acquire by toil be divided by a lot? Give and take and indulge yourself, because Hades, one cannot look for luxury. Let me start over. Give and take and indulge yourself, because in Hades, no one can look forward to luxury. All living beings become old like a garment, for the decree from the old is, you must die. And Jesus put that in exclamation points. Like abundant leaves, like abundant leaves on a spreading tree that sheds and puts forth others, so are the generations of flesh and blood. One dies and another is born. Every work decays and ceases to exist, and the one who made it will pass away. Happy is the person who meditates on wisdom and reasons intelligently, who reflects in his heart on her ways and ponders her secrets, pursuing her like a hunter and lying in waiting on her paths, who peers her windows and listens at her doors, who camps near her house and fastens his tent peg to her walls, who pitches her tent near her and so occupy an excellent lodging place, who places his children under her shelter and lodges under her boughs, who is sheltered from her from the heat and dwells in the midst of her glory. Wow, I want to read that one more time. This is chapter 14, verses 20 through 27. Happy is the person who meditates on wisdom and reasons intelligently, who reflects his heart on her ways and ponders her secrets, pursuing her like a hunter and laying in wait on her paths, who peers through her windows and listens at her doors, who camps near her house and fastens his tent peg on her walls, who pitches his tent near her, so occupies an excellent lodging place, who places his children under her shelter and lodges her boughs, who is sheltered by her from the heat and dwells in the midst of her glory. Chapter 15. Whoever fears the Lord will do this, and whoever holds the law will obtain wisdom. She will come to meet him like a mother. She will come to meet him like a mother, and like a young bride, she will welcome him. She will feed him with bread of learning and give him water of wisdom to drink. He will lean on her and not fall. He will rely on her and not be put to shame. She will exalt him above his neighbors and will open his mouth in the midst of the assembly.
Hey, you want to go down here to the street V? Get a plate?
No,
It's right down the road from
I know it is. I told you about it before you got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to go.
Okay.
I already told you what my plans was for lunch, but if you go there, then you know.
I was just going down here walking with this.
Yeah, I told you, and just like I put.
When you want to go up there to
Yeah, we can wait on that whenever, but I told you that is a provoking thing,
Yeah.
and I'm not with it. I don't need to be in that environment right now, because as long as I stand out there, that's not letting me know that Dominique is okay.
Right.
And that was planned the day after they arrested him, and nobody has heard from him about a plate of food. And they're going to feed the people, and they're going to go ahead and make sure that all the crime is gone. The police want to make sure they know the faces of all the people that they got on drugs and that's out there in the woods and everything else. That's what that feed for. That's not making sure that people eat, because they feed all week long. They have a feed every day of the week. That's for the police to make sure, take account of all the people that's in the woods and hiding that they put out there.
You know, a lot of people though that ain't in the woods.
Yeah, that's like I'm not. You know what I'm talking about, and because I'm live here, I know there's not a lot of people in the woods. I know a lot of people are going to come from their homes and their communities. But again, this town is just another. They just showed something, another $1 million, and the funds that went to help the homeless is not helping the homeless.
I'm not.
So that right there is a bunch of crap to me out there. And I don't want to focus on it. I want to focus on the wisdom of Jesus that I'm reading right now. But I'll see you later, love.
I'll be right back.
All right. Okay. Let me go back where I lost my space. Let me do a whoosh. I'll start over. I'm at 15. Whoever fears the Lord will do this, and whoever holds the law will obtain wisdom. She will come to meet him like a mother, and like a young bride, she would welcome him. She will feed him with the bread of learning. And give that young lady that just came in here is the one that wears the what you call it hat, the Mason hat from her great-great-grandmother. The Masonic hat, the one that I showed y'all in the picture. If you go through my shorts, I think it was the last short that I made. She's the one that witnessed the man, my spiritual son, get tasered for trying to go to get his plate of food. Now, she had heard me tell her earlier that I wasn't going to go out there. I was going to go stand out there, because I know it's meant to provoke me, because as soon as I did that first live, then when I went into the courthouse, they made a smirking kiki ha-ha about this plate of food. And now all of a sudden they got a nice big old feed out there, right? Yeah. But no one knows where Dominique, if he's okay, wherever they got him locked up at here in this town. Whoever fears the Lord will do this, and whoever holds the law will obtain wisdom. She will come to meet him like a mother, and like a young bride, she will welcome him. She will feed him with bread of learning and give him water of wisdom to drink. He will lean on her and not fall, and he will rely on her and not be put to shame. She will exalt him above his neighbors, and he will open his mouth in the midst of the assembly. He will find gladness and a crown rejoicing, and will inherit an everlasting name. The foolish will not obtain her, and sinners will not see her. She is far from arrogance, and liars will never think of her. Praise is unseemly on the lips of a sinner, for it has not been sent from the Lord. For in wisdom must praise be uttered, and the Lord will make it prosper. Do not say it is with the Lord's doing that I fell away, for he does not do what he hates. Do not say it was he who led me astray, for he has no need of the sinful. The Lord hates all abominations. Such things are not loved by those who fear him. It was he who created humankind in the beginning, and he left them in power of their own free choice. If you choose, you could keep the commandments. And to act faithfully is a matter of your own choice. He has placed before you fire and water. Stretch out your hand for whichever you choose. Before each person are life and death, and whichever one chooses will be given. For great is the wisdom of the Lord. He is mighty in power, and he sees everything. His eyes are on those who fear him, and he knows every human action. He has not commanded anyone to be wicked, and he has not given anyone permission to sin. Do not desire multitude of worthlessness. Do not desire multitude of worthless children, and do not rejoice in ungodly offspring. If they multiply, do not rejoice in them unless the fear of the Lord is in them. Do not trust their survival or rely on their numbers. For one could be better than 1,000, and to die childless is better than to have ungodly children. For through one intelligent person, a city can be filled with people, but through a clan of outlaws, it becomes desolate. Many such things my eye has seen, and my ear has heard things more striking than these. In an assembly of sinners, a fire is kindled, and in a disobedient nation, wrath blazes up. He did not forgive the ancient giants who revolted in their might. He did not spare the neighbors of Lot, whom loathed on account of their arrogance. He showed no pity on the doomed nation of those dispossessed because of their sins, or on the 600,000 foot soldiers who assembled in their stubbornness. Even there were only one stiff-necked person. It would be a wonder if he remained unpunished. For mercy and wrath are with the Lord. He is mighty to forgive, but he also pours out wrath. Great is his mercy, so also is his chastisement. He judges a person according to one's deeds. The sinner will not escape with plunder, and the patience of the godly will not be frustrated. He makes room for every act of mercy. Everyone receives in accordance with one's deeds. Do not say, I am hidden from the Lord, and who from on high has me in mind. Among so many people I am unknown. For what am I in a boundless creation? Lo, heaven and the highest heaven, the abyss and the earth trembled at his visitation. He's coming to visit? Oh, shh, I gotta be quiet. The very mountains and the foundations of earth quiver and quake when he looks upon them. But no human mind can grasp this, and who can comprehend his ways? Like a tempest that no one can see, so most of his works are concealed. Who is to announce his acts of justice, or who can await them? For his decree is far off. Such are the thoughts of one devoid of understanding. A senseless and misguided person thinks foolishly. Listen to me, my child, and acquire knowledge, and pay close attention to my words. I will impart discipline precisely and declare knowledge accurately. When the Lord created his works from the beginning, and in making them determined their boundaries, he arranged his works in an eternal order and their dominion for all generations. They neither hunger nor grow weary, and they do not abandon their task. They do not crowd one another, and they never disobey his word. Then the Lord looked upon the earth and filled it with his good things. With all kinds of living beings, he covered its surface, and into it they must return. Chapter 17. The Lord created human beings out of earth and makes them return to it again. He gave them a fixed number of days, but granted them authority over everything on earth. He endowed them with the strength like his own and made them in his own image. He put fear in them and all living things and gave them dominion over beasts and birds, discretion and tongue and eyes, ears, and a mind for thinking he gave them. He filled them with knowledge and understanding and showed them good and evil. He put fear of them into their hearts and showed them the majesty of his works, and they will praise his holy name and to proclaim the grandeur of his works. He bestowed knowledge upon them and allotted to them the law of life. He established them with the eternal covenant and revealed to them his decrees. Their eyes saw his glorious majesty, and their ears heard the glory of his voice. He said to them, beware of all evil. And he gave a commandment to each of them concerning the neighbor. Their ways are always known to him. They will not be hid from his eyes. He appointed a ruler over every nation, but Israel is the Lord's own portion. All their work are as clear as the sun before him, and his eyes are ever upon their ways. Their iniquities are hidden from him, and all their sins are before the Lord. One's almsgiving is like a signet ring with the Lord, and he will keep a person's kindness like the apple of his eye. Afterward, he will rise up and repay them, and he will bring their recompense on their heads. Yet to those who repent, he grants a return, and he encourages those who are losing hope. Turn back to the Lord and forsake your sins. Pray in his presence and lessen your offense. Return to the Most High and turn away from iniquity, and hate intensely what he hates. Who will sing praises to the Most High in Hades, in the place of the living who gives thanks? From the dead, as from one who does not exist, thanksgiving has ceased. Those who are alive and well sing the Lord's praises. How great is his mercy! How great is the mercy of the Lord, and his forgiveness for those who return to him. For not everything is within human capability, since human beings are not immortal. What is brighter than the sun? Yet it can be eclipsed. So flesh and blood devise evil. He marshals the host of the height of heaven, but all human beings are dust and ashes. Chapter 18. He who lives forever created the whole universe. The Lord alone is just. To none has he given power to proclaim his works. And who can search out his mighty deeds? Who can measure his majestic powers? And who can fully recount his mercy? It is not possible to diminish or increase them, nor is it possible to fathom the wonders of the world, of the Lord. Let me start over. Verse 6, 18, verse 6. It is not possible to diminish or increase them, nor is it possible to fathom the wonders of the Lord. When human beings have finished, they are just beginning. And when they stop, they are still perplexed. What are human beings, and of what use are they? What is good in them, and what is evil? The numbers of days in their life is great, if they reach 100 years. Like a drop of water from the sea and a grain of sand, so are the few years among the days of eternity. That is why the Lord is patient with them and pours out his mercy upon them. He sees and recognizes that their end is miserable. Therefore, he grants them forgiveness all the more. The compassion of human beings is for their neighbors, but the compassion of the Lord is for every living thing. He rebukes and trains and teaches them and turns them back as a shepherd his flock. He has compassion on those who accept his discipline and who are eager for his precepts. My child, do not reproach with your good deeds or spoil your gift by harsh words. Does not the dew give relief from the scorching heat? So a word is better than a gift. Indeed, does not a word surpass a good gift? Both are to be found in a gracious person. A fool is ungracious and abusive, and the gift of a grudging giver makes the eyes dim. Before you speak, learn, and before you fall ill, take care of your health. Before judgment comes, examine yourself, and at the time of scrutiny, you will find forgiveness. Before falling ill, humble yourself, and when you have sinned, repent. Let nothing hinder you from paying a vow promptly, and do not wait until death to be released from it. Before making a vow, prepare yourself. Do not be like one who puts the Lord to the test. Think of his wrath on the day of death and of the moment of vengeance when he turns away his face. In the time of plenty, think of the time of hunger. In the days of wealth, think of poverty and need. From morning to evening, conditions change. All things move swiftly before the Lord. One who is wise is cautious in everything. When sin is all around, one guards against wrongdoing. Amen. Every intelligent person knows wisdom and praises the one who finds her. Those who are skilled in words become wise themselves and pour forth acts of proverbs. Now, this is the first time I've seen this little note in between. So there's a note in between in chapter 18 when it's transitions from 29 to 30. It says self-control. Okay. Before I read self-control, I want to say this. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised. I try to be balanced. I try to be serene. I try to be and calm. I try to be with the help of God, knowing that God will find a perfect solution to all my needs. Self-control, 30. Do not follow your base desires, but restrain your appetites. I just restrained my appetite. I said, I'm not going to the feed. I need to feed on the book of Sirach. Okay. Whew, thank you. See, confirmation been coming every time it's not about me. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. Do not follow your base desires, but restrain your appetites. If you allow your soul to take pleasure in base desire, it will make you a laughing stock of your enemies. Oh my goodness. Do not revel in great luxury, or you may become impoverished by its expense. Do not become a beggar by feasting with borrowed money when you have nothing in your purse. Ooh, that's deep. One more time. Do not become a beggar by feasting with the borrowed money when you have nothing in your purse. Chapter 19. The one who does this will not become rich. One who despises small things will fail little by little. Wine and women led intelligent men astray, and the man who consorts with prostitutes is reckless. Decay and worms will take possession of him, and the reckless person will be snatched away. One who trusts others too quickly has a shallow mind, and one who sins does wrong to himself. One who rejoices in wickedness will be condemned, but one who hates gossip has less evil. Never repeat a conversation, and you will lose nothing at all. With a friend or a foe, do not report it, and unless it would be a sin for you, do not reveal it. For someone may have heard you and watched you, and in time will hate you. Have you heard something? Let it die with you. Be brave. It will not make you burst. Jesus said this with an exclamation point. He says, be brave. It will not make you burst. That looked like something for a t-shirt. Have you heard something? The fool suffers birth pangs like a woman in labor with a child. Like an arrow stuck in a person's thigh, so is gossip inside a fool. Question a friend. Perhaps he did not do it, or if he did, so that he may not do it again. Question a neighbor. Perhaps he did not say it, or if he had said it, so that he may not repeat it again. Question a friend, for often it is slander. So do not believe everything you hear. A person may make a slip without intending it. Who has not sinned with his tongue? Question your neighbor before you threaten him. And let the law of the Most High take its course. The whole of wisdom is fear of the Lord, and in all wisdom there is a fulfillment of the law. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, nor is there prudence in the counsel of sinners. There is a cleverness that is detestable, and there is a fool who merely lacks wisdom. Better are the God-fearing who lack understanding than the highly intelligent who transgress the law. There is a cleverness that is exact but unjust, and there are people who abuse favors to gain a verdict. There is a villain bowed down in the morning, but inwardly he is full of deceit. He hides his face and pretends not to hear, but when no one notices, he will take advantage of you. Even if lack of strength keeps him from sinning, he will nevertheless do evil when he finds the opportunity. A person who is known by his appearance, and a sensible person is known when first met face to face. A person's attire and hearty laughter and the way he walks show what he is. There is a rebuke that is untimely, and there is a person who is wise enough to keep silent. How much better is it to rebuke than to fume? And the one who admits his faults will be kept from failure. Like a eunuch lusting to violate a girl is the person who does right under compulsion. Some people keep silent and are thought to be wise, while others are detested for being talkative. Some people keep silent because they have nothing to say, while others keep silent because they know when to speak. The wise man remains silent until the right moment, but a boasting fool misses the right moment. Whoever talks too much is detested, and whoever pretends to authority is hated. There may be good fortune for a person in adversity, and a windfall may result in a loss. Excuse me. There may be good fortune for a person in adversity, and a windfall may result in a loss. There is a gift that profits you nothing, and the gift to be paid back double. There are losses for the sake of glory, and there are some who have raised their heads from humble circumstances. Some buy much for little, but pay for it 7 times over. The wise makes themselves beloved by only few words, but the court, court, but the courtesies of a fool are wasted. A fool's gift will profit you nothing, for he looks for recompense sevenfold. He gives little and upbraids much. He opens his mouth like a town crier. Today he lends and tomorrow he asks back. Such a one is hateful to God and humans. The fool says, I have no friends, and I get no thanks for my good deeds. Those who eat my bread are evil-tongued. How many will ridicule him, and how often? A slip on the pavement is better than a slip of the tongue. A downfall of the wicked will occur just as speedily. A coarse person is like an inappropriate story, continually on the lips of the ignorant. Wait a minute. A coarse person is like an inappropriate story, continually on the lips of the ignorant. A proverb from a fool's lip will be rejected, for he does not tell it in the proper time. One may be prevented from sinning by poverty, so when he rests, he feels no remorse. One may be prevented from sinning by poverty, so when he rests, he feels no remorse. One may lose his life, though, through shame, or lose it because of human respect. Another, out of shame, makes promises to a friend, and so makes an enemy for nothing. Let me read that again. One may be prevented from sinning by poverty, so when he rests, he feels no remorse. One may lose his life through shame, or lose it because of human respect. Another, out of shame, makes promises to a friend, and so makes an enemy for nothing. A lie is an ugly blot on a person. It is continually on the lips of the ignorant. A thief is preferable to a habitual liar, but the lot of both is ruin. They say people would rather hang with a thief than somebody who always lies. A thief is preferable to a habitual liar, but the lot of both is ruin. A liar's ways leads to disgrace, and his shame is ever with him. The wise person advances himself by his words, and one who is sensible pleases the great. Those who cultivate the soil heap up their harvest, and those who please the great atone for injustice. Favoring gifts, blind eyes of the wise, like a muzzle on the mouth, they stop reproofs. Hidden wisdom and unseen treasure, of what value is either? Better are those who hide their folly than those who hide their wisdom. Chapter 21. Have you sinned, my child? Do so no more, but ask forgiveness for your past sins. Flee from sins as a snake, for if you approach sin, it will bite you. Its teeth is like our lion's teeth and can destroy human lives. All lawlessness is like a two-edged sword. There is no healing for the wound it inflicts. Panic and insolence will waste away riches. Thus the house of the proud will be laid to waste. The prayer of the poor goes from their lips to the ears of God, and his judgment comes speedily. Oh, let me read that about 3 times. The prayer of the poor goes from their lips to the ears of God, and his judgment comes speedily. The prayer of the poor goes from their lips to the ears of God, and his judgment comes speedily. Did you know that you, poor man, your prayers go straight to God? You don't have to ask the pastor. You don't have to ask the pope. You don't have to ask the minister. You turn away from your sins and you could talk straight to God and his judgment will come speedily. I'm going to end it on that right there. That's before the 6. 21:6. Let me see how much I got here. I'm leaving it right there. That's how I'm going to end it because I want to keep that thought in my head for the day. I want to keep that thought. The prayer of the poor goes from their lips straight to the ears of God. And his judgment comes speedily. All right, that's it. I will be back later. Thank you for coming and sharing in the wisdom of Jesus. Oh, the son of Sirach. Greater light. I appreciate your copper Christ. Greater light. I think Chief Engine Dushawa was in here, or he was just on my mind when I was reading. And Dominique, my spiritual son. If you're tuning in somewhere out there, I'm hoping that I will be able to click this live button and have his voice. The person that I'm referring to is the same person that did the live with me with Uncle Toby a few weeks back, and he was singing. He was singing on my live. If you remember that live where Uncle Toby read Revelations 12 and Dominique did a song, and King Ellis and some other people put fire emojis and listening to his voice. That's the person that got tasered for saying a mumbling word when he went to go get his plate that was dropped off by homeless feed. Can a dummy? Greater light. Peace. I'll be back later.